Hello and welcome to this demonstration on YouTube Tracker or vTracker. I'm Thomas. I'm the lead developer on this project, and I'll be giving you a little tour of the application, its purposes, and the direction we are trying to take it to. So first of all, this app is public, so you can find it right here at vtracker.host.tuller.edu. It's a little bit long, but this is where you can find it at the moment. And this is what it looks like. So you are now on the landing page, and it gives you this little prompt here that I will go in depth in a minute. And we give a bit of summary on what the point is for this app and what you can do with it. So the difference of the YouTube Tracker, again, or vTracker, so the V stands for video. What we are trying to do is create a platform that offers analysis on video content. So there are a lot of tools out there that will give you analysis on networks, text, especially with Twitter. Back when the data was a bit more available, there was Facebook. Now they're a bit more private with their with sharing their data. Blogs is another one. With blogs, you have large amounts of text, and you have a lot of techniques to study that text, such as topic modeling, sentiment analysis, etc. Also, a lot of these applications are a bit more research-facing, meaning that they're not as user-friendly as we would like this application to be. So this is kind of where YouTube Tracker, stands apart. And there are many ways to look at, especially YouTube data. So first of all, to give this kind of a quick point-by-point first look, but you can look at how the users use the platform. So are they commenting? Are they interacting with it in the ways that the platform lets them? So likes, dislikes. Apparently, the dislike button may disappear on YouTube, so that could be a change in behavior soon. Sharing, etc. We can explore what topics or keywords are trending, especially over time. Are there shifts in what is being discussed in the videos? So this can be based on video descriptions as provided by the video creator, or we can look at comments, video transcripts in some cases when they're available, etc. And also, and this is similar to what is done in Block Trackers, another app we have created, we can check what are the more popular videos, channels, how they influence each other, what are the prominent network in a tracker. And I'll go back on that notion of tracker in just a little bit. And finally, to finish this first look at our landing page, this is a project sponsored by the Department of Defense mostly, and obviously created by Cosmos. And the link here takes you to the website. So you notice that over the page we have all these start tracking buttons, and a search page right here. If you start searching right now, you won't see anything because you first have to log in over there. So let's do that. This is a demo account that I'll be using for this demonstration, but if it is your first time logging in, there is some content you can see. First, you only need to register for an account. And this is very simple: email, password. You'll receive an email in your inbox, and you only need to activate it, and then you will have access to the application. So this is necessary mostly because we have to respect YouTube's terms of service, which includes limiting what content we can access. For example, if videos are deleted on YouTube, they also have to be purged from the database. So this can be open to the public without any kind of authentication. So I'm going to log in here. Actually, I'll log in first. And this will take me to the home page. Here it is. So this is my account up here. And what we see on that page is the kind of our version of the YouTube homepage or landing page. And all these videos here are simply some of the more popular at the times, like really popular content creators. Here we're gonna pull up a little bit more videos. Come and take a second. But so if you mouse over any of this content, you will pull up here a little bit of data on that. So this video here has about 3 million views, 20,000 likes, 5,000 dislikes, and that many comments, so a little bit over 500. And you may notice that sometimes the loading is stuck. This is because there's a quota on the amount of YouTube queries we can make per day. So this is another reason why the app can't be entirely public. We have to limit the amount of requests we make to YouTube. And also, of course, this is a work in progress. So you may see, well, I've tried to clean up the app as best as I could, but you may see a few bugs here and there, just because it's still being worked on. We add new features very often, especially to get insight on video content. And I'll tell you a little bit more about that in a minute. So you've seen all these videos, and if you want to have a better look at one of them, so we have a trailer here. And so simply clicking on any of these videos will pull up, the player, if you want to look at the video here, as well as all the information we get on YouTube. So first off, we have, all the metadata, of course, with the description, your trackers here, and I will touch up on that in 1 second. But for now, you can just think of trackers as a collection of videos or channels. And so of course, you're well aware on YouTube, every video gives you a bunch of related content as well. And these are the first 20 or so videos that appear as related to this particular video. So just click out to go back. And I also noticed that you actually have a few channels here. So this one, about 84,000 total views, over 1 million subscribers, based in the US. Sometimes we don't know where channels are situated. Some information is missing. For example, this channel doesn't appear to have a featured playlist. So we can try another one. And so some videos will have, some channels will have featured videos. Most don't, but if they do, they will appear here. And I'll give it a few more shots. Looks like this one has a few. Unless I've hit the API limit. Seems to be the case. Sometimes it also takes us a minute. But I'm not going to wait too long on this one. Just go back on the first. Yeah, so this one has no content. But similarly to the related videos, if the channel has featured channels, which usually are channels from the same creator or that are part of a network, and this is probably, I think I know that guy. He's an independent creator, so you won't find any featured channels here. This happens more often in things like news networks. And of course, you can still add to your trackers here. So let's talk about these trackers. So you can see like all the popular content. So you may notice this little check mark for each of the videos, and we can check it for multiple like this. And from here, we have the option here to track our selection. This also can be done at the individual level here. So you can see all these 0 track buttons. That means that the video is part of no tracker yet. So this account here, this demo account has only 3 trackers of its own, but we can create a new one. So let's just call this tracker demo April. And description is optional, but this is just to give you a little bit of more detail. If you have trackers with similar name, you just need some more information. So there you go, really simple. And you just create this tracker, and here it is. Next, you just give a little check mark, and this tracker is now, you can see is now 1 track, and we can actually add as many videos as we want to this tracker. It takes a second to update for whatever reason, etc. So since these 2 trackers are already, these 2 videos are already in the demo April tracker I just created, I don't need them in my selection anymore. But I'm going to grab these 3 videos too, and then repeat the process that I just demonstrated to add all of my selection to this this tracker. And here they all are. And of course, if we want, we just remove it, and it's gone from our tracker. Yeah. And this is about it for the homepage. Actually, of course, so I told you earlier that this mimics the YouTube front page, and this is all the more popular content. But if you'd like, you can look up anything in here. So I have a lot of examples I'm going to show you with COVID. So we can just look up COVID-19 here. And here's a bunch of content relevant to COVID. You can also change the view like so if you like, but I think this one looks a little bit better. On the left side of the screen, however, we have some sorting options. By default, and I told you there were some work in progress. This is not very obvious, but this is sorted by relevance. So we actually have a future update where this will be highlighted already. So this is already relevant. It's already sorted by relevance. We can also sort by date of publication. So for example, was anything published regarding COVID this week? So this was published April 5, April 6. Yeah, so this is all very recent. So let's see if anything was published today. Yeah. So this was yesterday. So not a lot of relevant content. It has to pull from previous days. This search is made with the YouTube API. So even if we have content that doesn't exactly fit our parameter, it will try and fetch the most relevant content. Let's check out vaccines to maybe have a better selection. So this will give you all the information on, this will show you the popular videos regarding vaccines on YouTube. And of course, you can check by views, what videos has had the most eyeballs on it. There it is, 51 million, followed by John Oliver, etc. Ratings, so this will sort the videos by whether it received good ratings or not. This one seems to have 14 likes, and so this is because I'm still looking at. Okay. Not sure the rating is actually computed. Oh, this one is live. This is why. So the ratings will sort by likes to dislike ratio. So this one, a lot of likes, barely any dislikes, and is very recent, so it comes up first. Yeah, some weird behavior with like live videos being pulled up, but globally you will see the videos with the most eyeballs on it. And at the very bottom here, you can sort by video counts. This is useful to pull up channels because, of course, videos don't have video count. So unless you have this like specific query, such as vaccine, let's just go COVID, and I should see a few channels here. There you go. So these are channels that mention COVID a lot. I don't know. So this one, Brazilian channel. Yeah, no videos being pulled up this time, so I may have exhausted the API limit. That's okay because this is all live data again. This is being tracked. Okay. This is all live data, and we are going to move on to data that is already stored in our database. That gives us a lot more information. And that is one important point. When you begin tracking, you will not automatically have a bunch of data, especially daily data, appear in the database. So if you start a tracker today, you will have to wait a certain amount of time to gather any meaningful insight. For example, what are the average views of the videos? And it'll make a bit more sense in a second. I'm going to show you the analytics a bit more in depth. So let's move on to our trackers menu right over here. So by default, we're at the home screen, and we need to move on to the trackers. So what you see here are all the trackers that are owned by this account, as well as, and this is important, a few public trackers. If you create your own account, you will not have these trackers that are populated with a lot of videos. However, you'll have access to these public accounts. They are read-only, so as you can see, I can delete this, but I can't delete these two trackers, and I can't modify their content either. So you will see this in a little bit. But yeah, so I can, of course, do a quick filter and look at only the tracker that I have just created. But this will not give us a lot of content. This is just the 6 videos we just added. So instead, let's. Oh, interesting! It doesn't reset it. Let's look at what you will most likely have a look at, which are the public trackers. So let's start with COVID disinfo here. So this is the largest COVID tracker. So if you click on your tracker, so first you see some information about it, when it originated. So this one is almost a year old. It has over 60,000 videos, and it also tracks 2 channels. And here are you can look at every single video if you would like. And of course, that's a bit much. So if there's one video in particular that you are looking for, maybe that you like to remove from the tracker, which again You can't on this tracker. Let me show you what it would look like if you were the owner. If I go to this instead, Australia and COVID. Oh, is this one? Well, actually, I think I removed this for safety recently. Normally, there's a little garbage can here that allows you to remove the videos from the trackers. But I think that has been disabled for some reason. But that won't affect you because these public trackers are read-only either way. So, say you're looking for this video right here. Yeah. So first word is trader. So we're looking for. Oh, there's a lot of them. So here is how you can filter quickly your videos. But let's just go back to the default view. And you may have noticed something particular about these 5 videos. And of course, you can navigate through every single one of them like this. And you see a lot of these videos have this little colored bar at the bottom. So these are movie barcodes. And this is where we get into a bit of how to gather meaning from video content, especially quickly, because this is YouTube. There's like an enormous amount of video data, more than you can possibly sift through if you are going frame by frame. So the idea behind these barcodes is to represent each video into one single image that captures dominant colors and that identifies the video or the video clip by this color signature. And the idea behind that, this is very well summarized by this illustration that I pulled up from one of our publications. The idea behind, oh, wrong one. The idea behind that, we'll see that in a minute, is that this allows you to detect if one clip is included in another. You see here how this barcode meshes exactly this one here. This is useful to detect what networks are reusing what clips. Is it stolen content or is it a clip that is being circulated within the network? It's also useful to detect automatic content. Is a bot account just recycling existing videos without adding any content? So this is one of the new features we are looking into for video analysis, movie barcode. We also have another plan for these barcodes, which are the event barcodes, and they will feature a similar method, except all of these barcodes will be regrouped into one frame, and the barcode will be tracker wide, so it could encompass every 63,000 of these videos. And from there, we can attempt to categorize the videos. For example, if they are vlogs of maybe people take on Twitter, you'll be able to locate, or rather categorize the videos by location. Are they indoors, outdoors, or are they in a particular building, etc. So, moving on from our tracker details page, we can now look at our tracker dashboard. Right here is the button for the analytics dashboard. So you can click here, or you can go back here, and you actually have access from this button right here. So let's have a look. And this takes 1 second because we're pulling up data from all 63,000 of these videos. It's a lot faster than it used to be. And here we're getting to the meat of the project. So first thing we can see, we have a lot of metadata up here, And as I mentioned, not everything is working perfectly. So these metadata here seems to be not getting the correct value, because I think this has more than 0 views. But going from the top down, let's look at some of our graphs. So the most obvious one here, we have the posting frequency. And what this shows is simply when was the content published. So this is content related to COVID. And unsurprisingly, we can see that there was some content, 100 videos a day or so, towards October here, July, etc., January. And then, of course, it goes up almost 1,000 videos every day in April, etc. Oh, actually, this is a few years before. This is because this content comes from a known channel. So they were already publishing before COVID. And they simply grew in size. But so this is the typical pattern we see with COVID videos. It's apparent on other trackers. But yeah, so this simply shows you when the tracker has been active. And before we go down, I will give you a little bit more detail on this posting frequency, especially since this channel, this tracker, has 2 channels. So let's click on this briefly, and we'll go back to this page in a second. Takes a second again. Okay. So also we can see that we have stopped collecting data after the study ended. So we're getting to the end of the tracking for this channel here. So if we click on the other channel, it simply adds it to the graphs, and it just shows how many videos this channel published in May. So this one had 37, this one had a lot more, and this channel published 40 videos in April. And we can inverse it and only look at this channel. This will also give you some top-level metadata. So these are the total videos in the channel as we are currently stored in our database. These are the total views that the channel has seen, and these are all the comments that we have stored. And most of the channel is located in the US. This is top location because we can select multiple channels. So let's see if we select this one. Yeah, still the US. Yeah, so both of these channels are located in the US. And of course, this is the larger channel, so it has a lot more content, a lot more views, and a lot more comments. Well, 1 billion cumulative views. Actually, let's look at this one too. Yeah, a little cleaner. So this is a word cloud here that encompasses all the different category for the channel. This looks a bit weird because there's only one channel currently selected, but it's easier to demonstrate. This is meant for a lot more channels. So this channel here has 47 videos that are labeled as entertainment, and 38 videos that are labeled as education. So this is why we have entertainment as the top category here. And if we look also at this channel here, so this one is mostly entertainment. So of course it becomes the leading keyword. And of course you can still filter. And this is particularly useful if you have a lot more channels than we do for this demo. If we go down a little bit, we have a map view, of course. As we've seen earlier, these channels are publishing mostly, actually exclusively in the US. So we can see that um, these videos were tagged as, US publication. Pretty straightforward. The point of this is, of course, to have a lot more channels and to compare the weight of each country, and the how much does each country contribute to the publication. And this is interesting to detect if you have channels that are known to push a lot of misinformation. Are they mostly in XYZ country? So, and at the bottom, it's just more details. Pretty straightforward. But so as I promised, also, of course, you can. This will be a bit more apparent in the analytics dashboard. So let me go back really quickly. You can change the dates you're looking at here. So let's look at January 2018 to the next year, January 2019. So January 2018, 18 to January. Actually, yeah, this is fine. Go on. Okay, date picker is a bit awkward. Anyway, this works. Or not. There it is. Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to get the oh, this is because there's no data for this time period. There. This will look kind of weird because just 1 month, but let's look at the daily chart for this time period. Okay, so the date picker has bugs. Let's go back to that posting frequency page. Oh, disaster. Okay, maybe I'm killing the database. Anyway, this actually works out because you're back to this view, and I was just going to let you know earlier that you can view this by weeks. It's get a bit more messy at this level of zoom out because, of course, like averaging by day, and this is going to be even worse with daily. There you go. It's just incomprehensible. So this is kind of your best bet, and we'll figure out this date picker. Graph number 2. Well, figure number 2 in this page are the top keywords for the video published, and you can see that there's a lot of entertainment type keywords, kids, copyright, arguably, if it's like cartoon shows. Some of the one channel I think in there has some kid content. They also try and push their social media. And while we are talking about the social media, let's have a quick look at this graph here. I'll talk about this in a second. The social media footprint here looks weird because all the channels use the same social media. So this little tooltip here tells you that 2 of the channels, of course, link their YouTube in the descriptions, but they also link their Twitter, Google. I think this was a Google Plus, so this kind of an older channel, and their Facebook account. So this kind of indicates what are the more popular social media accounts. But for now, let's look at the content analysis. And we may switch tracker because I think there's a better tracker for the content analysis, but let's see. Actually, this one may take a bit of a long time to load. No? Okay. Yeah, there you go. So this the videos may not load. I may go to a different tracker. Yeah, let's try another one. We've looked at COVID disinfo enough. So let's go back to our trackers page, a little refresher. And let's look at the details on the COVID keywords tracker instead, public tracker. So this one has no channels. This is why I didn't show you the posting frequency page with this tracker. However, it has 7,000 videos, which is plenty for what we are going to check out. So this one will going to be a lot faster. As you can see, same story. This is on the end of the data collection. So this is getting pushed out. But we're going to look at the content analysis again. Okay, so we have a bit more variety here. The content analysis looks, rather than looking at the channel activity like we were looking at in the posting frequency, it looks at the at what is in the video. Or rather, it looks at every video side by side, for now at least. So number one, we look at what language is used to describe the video. So this is mostly English, some German, some French, some Spanish. So there's a lot of variety in this tracker. And you can see here that we show some of the top videos. And if we click on this, for example, oh, never mind. So this is going to be interactable, so you can filter out the videos from content that you are not interested in. So this shows you the leading category. This channel, a lot better than this tracker, excuse me, a lot more relevant than the previous tracker, which has a lot of noise. There's just a lot more content, since it's mostly all news, which is good since it's a COVID tracker. And here, so this is the leading opinion, which is simply sentiment analysis. I think you may know about sentiment analysis, and it's simply a dictionary-based approach that computes a sentiment score based on the type of vocabulary that is being used in the text. Leading keywords is another word cloud that just shows what are the more popular keywords. And the emotion chart here is a feature coming soon, actually probably next week. So this is in April. So this will be pushed really soon. For now, this is simply a. Oh, never mind. This is already in. I thought this was not done. Okay, so this is a bit of a more advanced version of this, where instead of a positive, negative, neutral, we look at more complex emotions. So this actually checks out, a lot of positive emotions, and we have a large joy bar chart here, which is odd considering that these are mostly COVID videos. One possible explanation are that these are positive in the way that the news reporting things about vaccines, or how the the situations are improving. And you can also bring up a different chart here that just shows you the distribution, and I can filter out here. No? There we go. So this is just another visualization that shows every individual video. And this is inspired by this page that I was pulling up earlier, where for every bubble here, it was one comment. And so, for example, they determined that this particular comment, that this person, they determined that its leading emotion was pensiveness. We don't have pensiveness in our visualization. It's a bit much. We have these 8. And the rest of the page, so we have, like I was saying, our oh, we have videos with comments. And am I able? Okay. Anyway, this pulls up the comments and the likes and dislikes if we have them. Here's the English version with no encoding error. And at the very bottom here, we have detailed information about the videos, about each individual one. So title, category, language, and the opinion distribution, which is the sentiment analysis, side by side with the likes and dislikes distribution. So this is interesting because for some videos, there's a lot of dislikes. I want to make sure that it matches the opinion. So for example, if one video has a lot of dislikes but very positive opinions, that could be an indication that there are bots, spam disliking the videos, or even without it being bots, just maybe one community is harassing another. And of course, similarly, if the opinion is very negative with a lot of likes, that could be an indication that the video creator or someone trying to boost their content is using inorganic activity to boost the channel and make it more visible to real people. So yeah, this is the content analysis page. And let's look at the final one. Actually, before I do that, at the very bottom of the analytics dashboard here, you have the videos that are related to most of the videos in this tracker. So for example, this one is common to 3 of the videos. This one is 3 as well. There's not a lot of overlap, so for most of them, they're only related to 1 or 2. Here you go. This one is only 1, and so it's going to be 1 until the end. So now let's look at the video daily, video daily chart, which of course shows nothing because we have stopped collecting data during this year, at least as of October 2020. And this is also why you have to wait before any type of results are seen in your trackers, because this is data that is being updated every day, and we can't go back in time with the YouTube API. You just have to wait and kind of anticipate and prepare for what channels or videos you are wanting to study. So let's look at the content engagement page now. There. And this shows a bit more of what I was just talking about. So these are the views. And again, here we got pretty lucky. So yeah, the data stops around here. But before that, so these were the daily views. Actually, These are not daily. Yeah. So I think this is another bug with this chart, but this shows the daily activity for the sum total of these videos. And it seems like a lot, even though this is the total for like 7,000 like very popular videos. Actually, this might be the case. I don't know how many views YouTube gets every day. So same idea here, numbers of daily likes, and you see that this about matches number of views. Daily dislikes, again, is kind of the same, especially at this scale. The user engagement activity tends to match the number of just the number of views that the video is getting. Zero subscribers, because this channel has this tracker has no channels. It has 7,000 videos, but no channels. So of course, people are not subscribed to videos, subscribed to channels. We have collected a total of almost 10 million comments for these videos, which again looks something like that on a daily basis. And the more you zoom in, the more noisy it gets. Oh, and for each of these pages, some video details here that we can see. This video seems to have so another like cartoon seems to have the most comments. It's in this category and this language. And if we looked at the most disliked, for whatever reason, it is this video here. There's a news and politics videos. 40,000 dislikes. And the most liked, it might be the most viewed, yeah, or the more commented on. So it's the same one. How many views does it have? It's not the most viewed. This one, and sorry, I'm going pretty fast here. So just to sum up, this side menu here controls this detailed menu here. And if we look at our last button here, this is the number of individual commenters. And you can see that this pulled up this series of video. And this one seems to be the one with the most individual commenters, 18,000. Which makes this look a bit strange, because the fact that there are more comments, 10 more comments here than there are individual commenters here, rather like 5 times more. Yeah, a little bit strange. And finally, again, at the bottom of the page, this is the detailed views. So for every single video, let's just look at John Oliver here. These are all of his videos. And this one is the most popular. Let's see who has the most comments. Yeah, so second most popular got more comments than the most popular. So this is the type of things that you can figure out with this menu. So kind of having a general look, or rather to show a bit of a use case, let's look at this tracker. I like this tracker. To give a bit more detail about how the data was collected, this is called COVID disinfo because it came from another source that it was called disinfo or something, but essentially it reported suspicious content, or content that they thought was suspicious, including some stuff in these two channels, and so everything was tracked. This includes some noise, as you've seen when I was showing you the graph. Come on, since we have all this content published prior to even like 2019, so all of this is pretty much irrelevant to us. COVID keywords, however, this is called keywords because this was initiated just by a keyword search of COVID-related keywords around March 2019 or 2020, and so this is just content that was relevant to COVID at the time. And of course, this looks actually a lot more relevant than what you see in the other tracker. You have uh, there's a bit of a theme of people wearing scrubs, and this is the type of things that could be that could become apparent with these barcodes that I was telling you about earlier. So we could see that a lot of these clips include include blue, as a dominant color. And for example, what this would look like on this tracker could be clips that are kind of a on the field type of reporting in hospitals, and then you have like opinion piece like John Oliver type of content that is in a studio. It just looks a bit different. Okay, and then you got that. But yeah, so this would highlight different types, different categories of content. Come on, I'm breaking it today. There it is. So this one, yeah, very very bland dominant color. Okay, so let's have another look at our um, analytics dashboard. Kind of a final refresher and a bit of a use case for this. And I like to look at the content analysis for this. So, of course, first of all, posting frequency, like we've said, useless in this scenario since we have no channels. And remember, the other tracker has has channels but contains noise, so we do not want to use it in this scenario. So that leaves us with our content analysis and content engagement dashboards. Let's start with the engagement. Just give a bit more bird's eye view. And I think this date picker, this is unfortunate, but this might also be uh, awkward to use. Actually, this is 2020. This is when we started. We'll have some info in this time period. There. First of all, these, of course, there wasn't 0 views on YouTube that day. This is from last year, so this is another bug I was kind of warning you about. Sometimes we missed a day in the declaration for whatever reason, and this is just the result. But it can be assumed that the views for these channels are kind of this clean, straight line. However, there is this point right here that looks a bit weird. But it's not pulling up any data here. This is weird. What if we go back here? Okay, so the interaction with this line chart here is incomplete, unfortunately, but we're gonna log that and fix it in the future. And I showed you this earlier, but generally speaking, the likes and dislike engagement ratio matches with the views, and I assume this will be similar at this level too for the comments. And commenter looks very different, interesting. So it seems like we had more variety of commenters early on, and that actually went down a little bit. So this could be indication that I would say maybe the quality of the discussion. So the more people there are, usually the more discussion will tend to be more chaotic. But the less commenters there are, the more exchanges there will be, which may or may not be productive. It could be people having a discussion, or people just having a shouting match. We don't have toxicity measure in the app right now, so you can't really compare these measures with whether or not the comment section was toxic. She probably was, but yeah. So this gives you a little bit of an indication of the like rising popularity of the content. Oh, whoops! Don't want to go back that far. And then looking at the content analysis, first of all, English dominant, um, great news if the analyst speaks mostly English. Even though I'm not getting a lot of English content in here. There you go. I would say that this is more of a measure of the quality of the tracker, if whether you were able to capture relevant content. So we have high news, low entertainment, higher than education though. So although some content is classified as entertainment, but is sort of political in nature. So this is again very interesting because I think this is kind of an indication of um, the outlook that was had for a lot of these videos. So this has words like berate. So this would probably be a negative, opinion. Wrong here, criticism, probably negative. This actually may be due to language errors, because I see a lot of negative sentiment. This this is very promising. Um, I think the emotion score is probably not the same. It's interesting that it kind of matches the sentiment, but we will readjust how all these emotions are calculated. But this is kind of our one of the newer charts, and we will also. So for now, this looks at the video content. We will have a version of this in the content engagement page, however, to look at the comments. But yeah, so this is all the things you can look at with the YouTube videos, and I think it's a good point to leave it at. Thank you for watching.